Today we're gonna find out, do these samples live up to the hype or not? First things first, we're gonna jump into the new Larceny Barrel Proof A125 and Heritage Collection Heaven Hill 2025 release 19-year-old 100 proof wheated whiskey. I'm excited about today. You have the battle of the wheated mash bill that Heaven Hill, I think, has mastered. Thinking of how I was gonna start this today, do I want to start with the barrel proof or do I want to jump into the 19-year-old 100 proof? I think personally, I'm going to warm up with the barrel proof, the A125. Let's jump right into that, warm the palate up, get used to that mash bill that we all know and love from Heaven Hill before we move into the 19-year-old 100 proof wheated whiskey. First, I got to say thank you to the team at Heaven Hill for sending these samples for me to try. Since 1935, the Shapiro family has been running Heaven Hill, the largest family-owned distillery in America. One cool fact, Heaven Hill has over 2 million barrels aging over 70 rick houses across 2 counties. That is a lot of whiskey. So let's jump into it. If you like big, bold, just good bourbon flavors, Larceny Barrel Proof is perfect for you. So this right here is Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Larceny Barrel Proof, batch A125. So if we know anything about this, we know A is always gonna be released in January. Fresh crack, literally. Ooh. All right. So for those who might not know, A125, there's a meaning behind those B's and C's. So let's actually talk about this for those who might not know. So the letter tells you the first release that this came from. A is beginning of the year, B will be May, and C will be September. Going along that same notion, 1 will be because it's the first month of January, 5 would be May, and 9 would be September. And last but not least, 25. That's the year it was released. Kind of funny to see A125 here and the proof is 125. You would think that that's some correlation, really not. So this Larceny Barrel Proof is straight, uncut, straight from the barrel, aged 6 to 8 years. Right off the nose, you know this is Heaven Hill's signature mash bill, 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. One cool thing about Larceny Barrel Proof, it's available nationwide and comes in at a suggested retail price around $64.99. So let's dive into it. On the nose, you're getting that just really good rich vanilla, the brown sugar. There's maple, there's cinnamon that I just want to dive right into. So let's go. Ooh, yeah. It's so good. I'm a big fan of Larceny Barrel Proof. I think there's no bigger bang for your buck than one of these batches. That brown sugar, that toffee really still comes through here to the palate. You're getting some figs, some jam, some raspberries. There's a molassesy kind of note. Brown sugar galore still, graham cracker, marshmallow. Yeah, this is really good. And I know this sounds weird to say for 125 proof, there's no real burn. It's really good, it's enjoyable. There's a oily note to it that makes me really want to have another sip. Don't get me wrong, that barrel proof lingers. The heat is there, but it's more welcoming than one just like kind of punchy, you know what I mean? If I recall last year, C924 was one of my favorite whiskeys that I had. It just really crossed all those notes. There's a chocolate flavor that really stood out. I'm not getting that chocolate on this, but I'm getting that rich maple, that cinnamon, there's that clove, there's a orange fig kind of note that's really, really good. So I'm gonna say, yeah, Larceny A125 continues to live up to the barrel proof hype. Now let's try that 19-year-old 100 proof wheated whiskey. Each release of the Heritage Collection features one of the 6 traditional American whiskey mash bills by Heaven Hill. This 2025 edition features Heaven Hill's wheated whiskey mash bill, 51% wheat, 37% corn, and 12% malted barley, and is bottled at 100 proof. Let's do a little fresh crack again. Kind of a letdown. Ooh, big difference on that nose really quick. Need more. Here we go. With an age statement of 19 years old, this release is made up of 277 barrels. And those barrels were produced in August and December of 2005. And for those whiskey geeks, this was in Rick House Y on the 5th and 6th floor. And to date, this is the oldest wheated whiskey that Heaven Hill has ever released. Ooh. Yeah. So this is part of the Heritage Collection. Each spring, this is an annual, highly allocated and limited release that features some of Heaven Hill's oldest aging whiskey. On the nose, you're getting a lot of honey. It's fruit, it's floral. This is more of your traditional wheated bourbon nose. But there is that little element of surprise. There's a peppery note, clove and nutmeg, some cinnamon still, just like we had from the Larceny. Fruity note, something that is just very welcoming that says, Jason, go ahead and take another sip. Okay. So that palate is really, I think, where the age kind of shines. You get a lot of that seasoned oak. There's a richness. There's a density in there. It's complex. The baking spices are really kind of shining, and it's something that I really, really do enjoy. Kind of like an allspice nutmeg situation going on. That dryness factor really is something I think is the 19-year-old showing out in this bottle. But that finish is really where I think some of that maple really comes back. There's a little bit of graham cracker again. You're getting that toffee, vanilla bean, a little artificial vanilla. The tannins really kind of show out a little bit in this as well. Like a cherry wood tannin, that oak tannin. Yeah, I believe it also lives up to the hype. When you have a 19-year-old wheated whiskey that has the complexity and the flavor profile, proof down to 100, I think you really have to take in the whole aspect of a 19-year-old whiskey. You're getting a lot of complexity going on. 277 barrels are coming together, proof down to 100 proof, to make a really good pour. And that's something I think the Heritage Collection nailed it on. So sorry to let you down, but I think both lived up to the hype, both deserve their praise, and you're most likely gonna be able to buy this one over this one just because of the sheer volume. But I wouldn't be mad either way. This one's gonna be around 65 bucks. This one's gonna be around 300 bucks if you can find it. So either way, you're gonna win. Let me know if you try these, your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe, comment below, share with your friends, and let me know what you think. Cheers.